There will be a conversation to be had that will be bonkers.
Not really.
Why not really?
Right now, he's the second best in Dallas Maverick history, only because of the championship. Now, if he wins one, you could put him in that conversation with Dirk. He ain't over here yet. He's still in Dallas. He's a great player, but...
That's 100% his prime, because you got to stay been playing pro since 16. Right now, he's 25. He's in the middle of his prime right now. Now, it's about how long his prime is going to last. Yeah, he's in his prime.
Luka and Jokic.
Yeah.
These are slow, unathletic players that are like moving at a different pace, right? We're athletic and move fast. They just slow down.
He was telling them once they drafted Luka, he was like, he's gonna be the best player.
I remember that.
You remember that? We were sitting together talking.
Yes, I remember that.
He was like, he's gonna be one of the best. I'm like, yeah, right. Cause I'm like, how tall is he? Cause now he starts to measure him up to me, and I'm like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Luka is the worst all-star I've ever seen in my life. He can score the ball, he can pass the ball, he can rebound, all that. He has no effort on defense. He don't want to play defense. He don't hustle for no loose balls. He don't hustle for no loose rebounds. I watched Drew Holiday about 3 to 4 times get extra rebounds when he's guarding. I'm like, yo, he don't try. Yo.
Since entering the NBA in 2018, Luka Doncic has cemented himself as one of the league's most dynamic and groundbreaking talents. With his elite scoring, uncanny court vision, and the ability to deliver triple-doubles on any given night, Luka stands out as a generational talent who continues to redefine what it means to be a superstar. His rise began in Europe, where he dominated for Real Madrid and became the youngest EuroLeague MVP in history. Since joining the Dallas Mavericks, Luka has earned multiple first-team All-NBA selections and led his team to the NBA Finals. Despite his brilliance, Luka's ball-dominant style and leadership have sparked discussion among NBA legends. Some praise his unmatched skill set, while others question if he can lead a team to a championship. But now, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, has broken his silence on Luka Doncic, and what he said might just shift the narrative entirely. Despite being one of the brightest stars in the NBA, Luka Doncic has faced his share of criticism, even after leading the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals. Critics have questioned his conditioning, defense, and on-court demeanor, arguing these flaws hold him back from being considered the best player in the world. But Charles Barkley sees Luka in a very different light, offering a perspective that stands out from the noise. What Barkley had to say might just change how you view Luka entirely.
Yeah, I know. You see how quick they turned on Luka in the finals. I was like,
I know.
No,
that was bullshit.
I didn't like that. Luka's the only reason they're in the finals. I mean, and then after game 1 and game 2, they're like, Luka can't play any defense. He's the reason the Celtics up 2-0, 3-0. I'm like, wait a minute. He's the only reason they're in the finals.
The criticism surrounding Luka Doncic has undoubtedly gone too far. He entered last season in the best shape of his career and started off on fire, but nagging injuries slowed him down as the season progressed. Even so, he managed to lead the Mavericks on an improbable postseason run. When fully healthy, there's no question Doncic belongs in the conversation as one of the greatest players in the NBA. Allen Iverson is widely regarded as one of the most transcendent talents in NBA history. Known for his ball-dominant style, AI mastered creating his own shot, whether with his killer crossover or by finishing at the rim. Much like Luka Doncic, Iverson was a clutch playoff performer who could elevate his team when it mattered most. In his 2001 MVP season, he carried a flawed Philadelphia team to the NBA Finals, cementing his legacy as a generational talent. Today, Iverson remains in awe of Luka, even naming him as the one player he'd most like to play with. He believes Luka's size and skill set would make them an unguardable backcourt duo.
One of the days where I would want it to be Luka because he's a big point guard. Yeah. I can still play the 2. Yeah. He can guard the 2. I guard the 1. You know what I mean? And I think it'll just be deadly.
LeBron James, widely regarded as the best player of his generation, knows the immense pressure of being a highly touted prospect. After surpassing sky-high expectations since 2003, LeBron sees clear parallels between his own journey and Luka Doncic's rise. He has closely followed Luka's career and remains impressed by how the young star has handled the spotlight and high expectations. LeBron believes Luka's game stands out for its versatility and ability to elevate those around him. What he said next about Luka's talent and mindset provides a glimpse into why LeBron holds him in such high regard.
Because I love everything about his game, love everything about him. The way he plays the game reminds me of the way I play the game. We're just triple threats. We rebound, we pass,
which is the number one thing on our mind, trying to keep our teammates engaged and keep our teammate feeling good out on the floor, keeping our teammates in rhythm. And we'll put 40 on you, too, if you disrespect us.
Dirk Nowitzki was Luka Doncic's teammate during Luka's rookie season, which also marked the end of Dirk's legendary career. As a European star who thrived in Dallas, Dirk has always had high praise for Luka. Their shared time as Mavericks created a special bond, and Dirk couldn't be happier that Dallas fans now have another generational talent to cheer for. Beyond their time as teammates, Dirk is an admirer of Luka's game, often noting his incredible offensive versatility and rapid improvement since entering the league. What Dirk said about Luka perfectly captures why he believes Doncic is destined for greatness.
Man, I'm so mad. He's breaking every one of my records, man. This is over. I'm thrilled for him, obviously. I got to know him. My last year was his first year in the league. It was just great to see him, get to know him a little bit. And I think we saw then in year one that the sky's the limit for him. But I honestly didn't think he could go there. I mean, the way he has no offensive holes in his game. He can do it all. He can shoot the step back. He can go both ways. He can post. He's got the mid-range. He's got the flow. He's got all the horse shots. I mean, he's got the full package, and he's been tremendous to watch. Every year I'm saying this kid can't possibly get better, and then sure enough, next year he comes back with more in his repertoire. It's been incredible to watch his first couple of years in the league get better, and hopefully Mavs fans enjoy him for a long, long time.
In his prime, Gilbert Arenas was one of the most explosive scorers in the NBA, capable of putting up points in bunches when he got hot. Since retiring, Arenas has become one of the league's most outspoken commentators, often stirring up controversy with his bold takes. On his podcast, Arenas isn't afraid to make sweeping statements about players that spark debate in NBA circles. When it comes to Luka Doncic, Arenas has offered one of his most contentious opinions yet. He argues that Luka shouldn't be compared to Michael Jordan, or even James Harden. According to Arenas, Luka's lack of defensive prowess disqualifies him from being mentioned alongside Jordan, who was dominant on both ends of the floor. Arenas also questions Luka's offensive game, claiming it doesn't measure up to Harden's ball-dominant scoring style. Ultimately, Arenas believes Luka still has a long way to go before entering the conversation for all-time greatness, showing just how divided opinions on Luka Doncic can be among former NBA stars.
And then you have Luka over here who's compared to Michael Jordan, and he's James Harden. He's literally James Harden, right? A dude who scored a lot of points, don't play no defense, right? But we see what they did to James Harden, who didn't play defense. They let the world know he didn't play no defense. They let the world know he was a one-sided player. This is all he do. He's just a stat keeper. Luka is considered the next Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan who played defense and offense. And we have one-sided where we're like, all right, one-sided. Well, we know what that looks like. That's James Harden. Can he say he's better than James Harden at scoring? Can't even do that. You can't even argue that he's a better scorer than James Harden in that same category. But he's considered the next Michael Jordan.
Luka Doncic is set to become eligible for a massive contract extension next offseason, potentially worth upwards of $346 million. If he continues to dominate the league through the end of the decade, he could be earning over $100 million per year, thanks to the new TV deal and the cap projected to soar by 2031. A standard Supermax contract allocates 35% of the salary cap to a player, and with the NBA's cap expected to exceed $300 million by 2032, Doncic's earning potential is unprecedented. Considering these staggering figures, Shaquille O'Neal, known for his financial savvy, shared some valuable advice for Luka during an episode of The Pat McAfee Show. What Shaq had to say offers a fascinating perspective on Luka's future.
Luka's about to get the $100 million, right, Pat?
Yes, sir.
If I was him, I would just say, okay, just pay me $20 million this year and defer that $80 million. Just defer it till I'm done playing. Because you know that $80 million is not going to really be that $80 million after taxes. But I would say just pay me $20 million and the other $80 after taxes, just put it away. I don't want to see it till I'm 35.
Shaquille O'Neal famously burned through his first NBA contract in about 30 minutes, but has since become a savvy businessman, investing in countless ventures and becoming a fixture in commercials across industries. While Luka Doncic takes a more selective approach to his investments, taking Shaq's advice and deferring some of that money could prove to be a smart, long-term strategy. During Steve Nash's tenure as coach for the Brooklyn Nets, he encountered difficulties making strategies to contain Luka Doncic. This challenge reached its peak in March 2022 when Luka exploded for 49 points against the Nets. With just 22 seconds remaining, Luka drained a crucial go-ahead shot. Kevin Durant then tied the game with 8 seconds left, setting the stage for a decisive possession. Knowing the Mavericks would rely on Luka, the Nets attempted to stop him at every turn. Despite their efforts, they left Spencer Dinwiddie open for a three-point attempt. Luka, demonstrating his exceptional court vision, found Dinwiddie over the double team, sealing the victory for the Mavericks. Reflecting on the game, Steve Nash highlighted the attributes that he believes distinguish Luka from his peers.
I just think his feel for the game, coupled with his size. He's able to use his size to get free and that feel for how to get people off balance and how to spray the ball or how to score.
The strong Balkan connection between Luka and the Joker has made the two become best friends, always joking around one another off the court, but competing hard when it is game time. Their relationship is something to behold. Two extremely passionate basketball players who have a totally different way of showcasing their love for the game, Jokic and Doncic, are going to be the faces of the league for years to follow. After a Denver Nuggets win over Luka's Mavericks, the Joker was asked about what he enjoys most about Luka's game, to which Nikola replied,
"When we beat him and I can make fun of him."
He followed it up with a bit more serious comment.
I mean, he's my good friend and it's always nice to play against him.
That's probably the most you are going to get out of the Joker, as he probably dislikes being around the media even more than he enjoys playing basketball. Kevin Garnett was one of the toughest and nastiest hoopers to ever play in the NBA. He was an NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, a 15-time All-Star, a 9-time All-NBA player, and a member of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He gained respect from his opponents and demanded high-level play from his teammates, earning the reputation for being a great leader and a demanding teammate. In his post-playing career, KG has been an outspoken analyst, unafraid to criticize some current players yet vocal in his praise for others. In Luka, KG sees one of the most special talents to ever come into the NBA. Garnett shouts out Luka's maturity and his ability to read the court and pick apart a defense with passing. Every single night, Luka draws the other team's best defender, and every single night, he comes to play and puts up big numbers. As one of the best defensive players of his era, Garnett knows what it takes to do what Luka is doing, and he's impressed.
I love Luka's pace. I love Luka's maturity. You see his maturity. You see how he's been playing with older men or older people in his life. You see it. He's not afraid of anything in the league. He goes at some of the best defenders the same way and makes them look like they're not that great of defenders. He has a pace. You can't speed him up. And he's figured out the league.
Paul Pierce was Kevin's teammate in Boston when the duo won the NBA championship in 2008. Like KG, Pierce has also been a vocal commentator since he retired from his playing career. In Luka, Pierce sees a fierce competitor and a winner. Pierce says that he expects special things from Doncic in the future because he is the most talented player in the NBA today. And though this comment drew some surprised reactions from his co-panelists, Pierce has the pedigree to make such a statement. And Pierce doesn't say this just for the sake of doing so. He says so because he thinks it translates to winning when it matters most, in the playoffs. It takes a champion to recognize championship pedigree, and this is why Pierce expects so much out of Luka. He knows that the best players step up in the biggest moments, and he's counting on Doncic to be a big-time playoff performer for the rest of his career.
I expect special things from him. I mean, you talk about a kid who made one of the biggest leaps in recent memory from a Rookie of the Year to MVP caliber player. I mean, he's won every European championship that you can think of, every European MVP that you can think of. So I expect special things from this kid. Clearly, he's special. He's a talent. He's probably, to me, he is the most talented player in the NBA today. And the lights are never too bright for him. So I expect big things out of him come playoff time.
Jason Kidd has seen it all in his basketball career. As a player, Kidd was named to the NBA's 75th anniversary team, and he is widely known for his incredibly high basketball IQ, his special passing ability, and his lockdown defense. Since his playing days ended, Kidd has been an NBA head coach for the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, and now the Dallas Mavericks, where he currently coaches Luka Doncic. Having gotten the opportunity to work directly with Doncic as his head coach, Kidd has had largely good things to say about his star player. But as his coach, Kidd also has a unique perspective on Luka. He understands that Luka is one of the most impressive offensive players in NBA history, but also that he needs to step up and be a better defensive player more consistently. In a press conference, Kidd told reporters that he had to have a conversation with Luka about his effort on the defensive end of the court. With Luka, this is the other side of his game. His offensive efforts take so much energy from him. But as his coach, Kidd stresses that he needs as much from Luka as he can give defensively. And as an impactful defensive player back in his playing days, Kidd knows that Luka can do it. It's just a matter of actually seeing it.
Yeah, that conversation happened 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago at this time of the year. We needed him to play defense, and he did. And so just understanding what's at stake, he wants to win. He's all about the team and doing whatever it takes for the team to win. And defense is one of those things, understanding he's going to be called up tonight in a lot of pick and rolls, and he has to, make a stand so that they can go somewhere else. And so he's been up for that challenge, and so we'll see what happens tonight.
Michael Jordan's reputation as the greatest player of all time speaks for itself. Early in Luka Doncic's career, MJ saw something special and signed him to Jordan Brand, later releasing Luka's signature sneakers. At the time of the sponsorship announcement, Jordan praised Luka's incredible skill level for such a young player. He highlighted what sets Luka apart. Despite being slower and less athletic than many players in the league, Luka's advanced skill set and elite basketball IQ allow him to dominate both individual defenders and complex defensive schemes. As Luka's career has unfolded, MJ's words have proven to be spot on. Luka's skill and ability to read the game have only improved, making him one of the league's top players and one of the hardest to guard. It's clear Michael Jordan and Jordan Brand made a brilliant investment in a superstar whose influence continues to grow. Here's what MJ had to say about Luka. Luka is a phenomenal player, and at such a young age. He's demonstrating skill it takes many guys years to develop. It will be incredible to watch him continue to advance in the league. Gary Payton, a great point guard known for tough defense and talking on the court, thinks highly of Luka Doncic. He was tough to play against, making opponents play worse with his talk and defense. He didn't often give credit to opponents, but lately he started recognizing the new stars in the NBA. When asked about rookie Luka Doncic, Payton said Luka is really talented and that the Mavericks should focus on building their team around him.
Luka's a great talent, a real great talent. He showed it. Coming over here, winning Rookie of the Year and scoring as easy as he did. That's for being over and overseas a lot and being focused like that a lot and know how to score. They're building. It is what it is. They're building. And once you build and put the right pieces together and keep them together for a little bit, they'll be fine. I think Mark is doing a good job of doing what he has to do to keep them together. They got a great coach, and they just got to keep working.
Isaiah Thomas was one of Michael Jordan's primary competitors during his playing days. It was a gritty, tough point guard who was lightning quick with the ball in his hands, playing for the bad boy Detroit Pistons alongside Dennis Rodman and Bill Laimbeer. Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons went toe-to-toe with Michael in Chicago, and for a while, Detroit had Chicago's number. Eventually, the Bulls got over the hump, but not before Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons won back-to-back NBA titles in 1989 and 1990. Today, Thomas is a commentator known for praising the new era of NBA stars. Isaiah loves watching Luka Doncic play, and like many other NBA legends, has pointed primarily to Luka's skill level and his passing. As somebody who came into the league with a developed, mature play style, it's incredible that Luka has been able to develop at the rate he has. He might be the most well-rounded player in the league, and his improvement from one year to the next has been incredible to watch. He even has old NBA legends saying, "Wow." As he gets older, Doncic is just going to continue to get better, according to Isaiah.
Wow. My first impression of Luka Doncic was wow. Luka's got size. He's got a gift for passing. He's competitive. He can shoot the basketball. I mean, by the time that Luka's 26, 27, I shudder to think how great he's going to be.
Most NBA legends agree that Luka Doncic is a generational talent who has made a significant impact since his debut in 2018. From former players admiring his game to current stars like LeBron James competing against him, many recognize Luka as an offensive powerhouse capable of putting up incredible numbers and stuffing the stat sheet. However, some legends have raised questions about whether Luka's ball-dominant play style can translate into championships and if his defense is strong enough to meet his team's needs. When figures like Shaq, Charles Barkley, and Gilbert Arenas share these critiques, it adds weight to the conversation. While Luka's immense talent earns him the benefit of the doubt, these questions leave room for debate. Could adjusting his style of play unlock even greater success for both him and his team? What do you think? Is Luka a legend in the making, or is he destined to be compared to players like James Harden,